Car companies think they can be just like Apple, Netflix, your cable provider, even cell phone company.
Soon, your car might not even be your car anymore. Automakers want to turn this thing you drive every day into a moving subscription. Cruise control, emergency brakes, heated seats, things already in your car, now all blocked by a paywall. And although this started with luxury makers, we're anticipating it to spread across the entire auto industry as corporations are rushing to tap into what's estimated to become a $200 billion market. What this really means is that car companies are finding new ways to keep people in perpetual debt. It's already incredibly hard to afford a car in the first place. It costs around $47,000 for a new one, and people spend on average over $700 a month to pay it off. We already underestimate how much we pay in monthly subscriptions, so this could become another burden on top of what's already the third largest form of debt in America.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. In case you're new here, my name is Maren.
And I'm Maureen.
Right. So guys, right now we are well in the era of subscriptions and paying for things just so you can get to access them.
Right. And the biggest question you're asking today is, you can of course leave us your answer in the comment section. Right now, how many subscriptions are you currently on, or are you paying for right now?
Yeah, and are they totally necessary in your life? Just let us know that, because in today's episode, we decided to cover this because there was a young woman who brought concern on Instagram when she said she bought a Toyota 2025, right? And this car, which she did not know at the time, came and she was excited about getting her car, you know, only for her to realize that she could not access some features.
Right, features that came naturally to cars that were owned in 2020 going backwards.
Right, but guys, let's watch what we have prepared for you and then we come back and talk about it. It's beginning to look like even in future we are going to be getting subscription for the most basic things, even the air we breathe, you know. But let's watch what we prepared for you and then we come back and talk about it. You can let us know your thoughts and opinion on the comment section. Also consider subscribing if it's your first time here. Let's watch.
Car companies think they can be just like Apple, Netflix, your cable provider, even cell phone company. They want you to pay by the month, and I'm not talking about a monthly car payment. They want you to pay for your monthly car payment, but once you buy the car, they want you to pay for subscriptions for all the cool features. Who can blame the car companies? They're just trying to make a buck here. What I think is so interesting about this, it's being so, just do it over the air, otherwise known as things that could come included with your car. How much of this is figuring out that the consumer is, shall we say, price conscious? How much of this is that at the same time the prices of new cars have gone up so much, this is the only way for automakers to sort of raise prices without raising the sticker price?
You know, everybody's trying to be Apple. That's what's going on. Everybody's trying to get a subscription and a monthly fee. But the reality of it is car payments have gone from, you know, the average of $300 to $350 a month. They're now $700 and $800 a month. The consumer only has so much bandwidth, and they're not buying into it. And most of them don't want it, and it's actually insulting for the consumer, because, you know, high beams, you're going to charge me to put high beams on automatically. I mean, these are things that historically were added to the car to get the consumer to come in and buy it. And now we're going to charge them for everything.
We're in a Toyota 2025, and we noticed that on the screen, you can't use navigation unless you pay a subscription fee for it, right? Which is insane. Like, you can't just hook your phone up and use navigation on your phone. That's free. So we looked at the subscription fees, and it's $15 a month. It's also $15 a month to stream music to the actual screen in your car.
Funny enough, I have a almost 20-year-old Toyota Corolla outside right now that actually has remote start. Now, it didn't come with remote start, but at Toyota it was installed for like $700 back then, which now looking back was kind of crazily expensive. But that was a one-time payment in comparison to what this young lady's talking about. This isn't the first time I've heard of a car company trying this. I forgot who it was. They were going to try to charge you a subscription for heated seats. I forgot who that was, but I hope somebody can inform me. You can still use Bluetooth to connect, right? They're just charging you for like some kind of package they got going on, which include maybe Wi-Fi and other services. Now, the part I'm really curious about, is it true that they're charging you to see your oil levels and your tire pressure? Because if you're buying a car just for them to leave features behind a paywall, I don't think this is acceptable at all. No matter the level of car you've bought. Because that means if I pay my car off, some of my features that are already in my car are going to be locked and I have to pay it like it's a Netflix subscription just to use it on the regular? What was the point of including it in the car when I bought it if you're going to try to charge me for the rest of my life for a service that should have been in my car? Okay.
Guys, look, I don't know about you, but to me, everything in life becoming a fucking subscription model is pissing me off. Because we've now gotten to the point where Volkswagen is charging you a monthly fee to unlock your full horsepower. Like, seriously, I wish I was kidding about this. But Volkswagen wants drivers to pay monthly, yearly, or lifetime fees to unlock the horsepower in the fucking car. I thought it was bad when BMW was trying to charge you a subscription for your heated seats. Like, this is something that Volkswagen is paying extra money to limit, right? Like, they built the car with a certain amount of horsepower, and then they had to pay extra to build and install a device that limits that horsepower so that they could charge you to use it. They made it more expensive for themselves so they would have an excuse to charge you. That is next level stupid. I mean, this is the embodiment of the you will own nothing and love it type of movement. And it's gotta be fucking called out because this is insanity. If you build the fucking car with a certain amount of horsepower, that's how much horsepower I should get. And if you were stupid enough to pay extra money to build and install a device that limits that, fuck you.
Did you know that you can pay a monthly subscription to increase the power and acceleration from your electric Mercedes-Benz just like you pay for Netflix? That's right, the package is called Acceleration Increase, and for $1,200 a year or $100 a month, you can increase the 0 to 60 time on the EQS SUV by 1 second. So yeah, it's not just BMW and Tesla, every automaker is starting to do subscription services. For example, remote starting this through the Mercedes app will cost you an extra $35 a year. Unlocking the dash cam on your Benz will cost you an extra $16 a month. Now, if your Mercedes gets stolen, they will help you find it, but for $2 a month. Oh, and the craziest one here, the EQS SUV has rear wheel steering that turns the rear wheels by 10 degrees. Now get this, the 10 degrees is standard in the United States, but in other countries you get 4.5 degrees as standard, but you have to pay an extra $47 a month for the other 5.5 degrees. Why?
It's crazy to me that like when everybody comes together and we decide that we don't want something to happen, auto manufacturers or just in general, companies in general, they will stop in their tracks. So a little over a year ago, BMW was going to start making you pay for subscriptions in your car. For example, cooled seats, heated seats, and basic safety features that come standard on your vehicle. So it did happen that BMW actually did not start charging for heated seats or cooled seats in their vehicles, but that isn't stopping them. They said that they are going to charge for software-based upgrades inside of their vehicles. BMW reportedly was going to charge $18 a month for heated seats. That's actually one of the craziest things I ever heard. And honestly, I'm glad a lot of the consumers that purchased BMWs were like, yo, we're not paying this shit, bro. Because it makes no fucking sense. If the option comes with the car already, why do you have to pay monthly? But one thing that they are going to start charging is software-based services. For example, parking assist. If you don't know how to park your car, you need parking assist, they're probably going to charge you $20 a month so you can.
Someone sent me the video of this car. This is a Chinese electric car, and I watched this video like 5 times. Let's look at all the features and talk about it. So it has got doors that are like the new Rolls-Royce Spectre and the new BMW i7. Foot on the brake, and then it will close. It also has a bunch of space, clean-looking cup holders, wireless chargers, and this screen that it is about to show. It is like the new Lincoln Nautilus. Check this out. Look, it is full width across. So this is the LM Motors LS7. It's an SUV. It can go, I looked it up, 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds, and it's got a range of like over 400 miles, like 410 miles. This car is amazing. They have some incredible electric cars over there, and I hope that we can get some cool features like this too, that we can like expand what is available in North America. Follow me for more about electric cars.
So guys, welcome back. Let us know what you think about the episode we just played here. Personally, how many subscriptions do you think you are on, Maureen?
Right now, I'd say if at most about just 5 subscriptions.
Which would be? I think we're on Netflix.
We have an editing app, CapCut, that we're paying for. We're paying for Telegram Premium.
I think that's all. Do we have another
3.
one? So we are currently on 3 subscriptions. But for Americans, I do understand people have Amazons. It goes way beyond just, for Americans, it's a first world country. So like I feel like people have been programmed to depend on things like even shopping became something that you could do online. You just order groceries and then it gets delivered
But
to you.
even here in Kenya, you can order groceries without necessarily paying for subscription fees to that app.
Okay. Anyway, okay, moving forward, right? Guys, I feel like companies need to be seriously regulated because how do we get to a point where people are now paying for subscriptions on vehicles? It doesn't even make sense.
It's because one thing, this is not humane, number one, and number two, they're literally turning people into money-making machines in order for them to afford the very air they breathe. Because one thing is, long time ago, these vehicles used to come with all these features, and right now, what I can advise people is, because right now it looks like 2024 and 2025 productions are the productions that have these subscriptions. Please hold on to your cars. 2023 going backwards, hold on to your cars and maintain your cars. They have free heating systems.
Right? Imagine paying for a system where you have to check your oil levels and tire pressure, but you have to keep on paying a monthly subscription for something so basic that it should be done without even removing more money from you. And this is despite the fact that these vehicles already cost an arm and a leg,
Right.
There was
how do we even explain to our children when they grow up, or explain to our grandchildren when they grow up, and we allow this system to happen, right? How do we then explain to them there was once a time cars came with heating systems that were free?
It's gonna sound crazy, right?
Cars came with a dashboard that could tell you for free where your oil levels are at. And right now, they'll grow up in an era where they see their moms paying for basic things like heating systems for the car, and to check your tire pressure, you need to pay a subscription fee too.
And then guys, let's talk about the most important thing. I feel like people have grown very dependent on navigation systems, which you can understand in today's world, in today's society, with today's
it has made navigation very easy. Like right now, for me to move from one part of Nairobi to the next, it's not necessarily a must for me to have been to that place before. I can just use my Google Maps to get to where I'm going.
Right, but the saddest part is how they create dependency on these things, and then they come up because you cannot do, you've gotten to a point where you're using it so much you cannot do without. Now they start charging you for it. From a business point of view, it is genius. It's a very good way of making money because definitely some people are gonna pay for those functions. But on the humane side of it, like to be quite honest,
that is stripping people off of their humanity and turning them into money-making machines. Because also one gentleman here was asking, why should I pay? Because there was a brand of a car there, I don't want to mention the name, right? But it was saying that for acceleration, you need to pay a $1,200 fee when you reach a certain limit for you to access the other acceleration amount,
The most ridiculous
thing I've heard. And that gentleman asked, if already your car is coming with, let's say, for example, a mile of 210, and I can only access 110, and the rest I need to pay in order for me to accelerate more. So he was asking, why should I pay for a feature that already comes with your car if that is the reason why I'm getting it in the first place, so that I can afford that feature, only for you to charge me for it later? It doesn't make sense.
Right.
And it has gotten to a point that I was listening to these videos and I started asking myself, am I the one who is not poor? I mean, am I the one who is not rich? Or are these things just ridiculous? Is this normal?
Like, guys, I feel like if collectively people could just come together to refuse, but the challenge is where, as I say, they created the dependency on these things, because right now for people to get to work, you have to
personal
have
vehicles.
Exactly.
Because it's very convenient for most.
If you don't get to work early or on time, your boss is gonna fire you. Your boss also has created that system where they have to have efficiency from you, and for you to be efficient, you have to have
around easily,
right?
But to get your kids from school, you need that. Like in short, right now, personal vehicles are becoming a necessity, and that is why I'm saying, because these are manufacturers that are coming up in 2025 most especially. Please hold on to your free vehicles, the ones that you paid for, and you're not paying for any subscriptions for them now.
Right.
Hold on to those.
Right, guys, let me just ask you, what's the most ridiculous thing you have subscription for? Yeah, but also the problem is, for as long as, because just the other day Kim Kardashian released a product called Ultimate what? The Ultimate what?
The hairy panty.
Right.
She was selling those and people were buying.
And it's exactly because of that kind of mentality that even the daring, they dare to do this.
Introduce subscription fees to
because
vehicles because there are people who are willing to
pay. Unfortunately, those people who are willing to pay
are the ones who can't pay.
Not even can't pay. Those ones who don't want to pay, not because they don't have the money, but because it's ridiculous. Just common sense. Some people are not using their common sense, and it's because of them that these people are even thinking of these ridiculous ideas of how to get money from people.
And if this is successful, them having those subscription fees for certain items of the vehicle, I do believe that these same people will even find a way for people to buy the very air they're breathing.
Guys, can you imagine if everybody just decided from now on? There was a point in life when there weren't no vehicles on roads.
Life was simple.
Life was simple. People were walking, people were healthy.
No, even if those very vehicles were on the roads, still life was simple
because not a lot of people were buying those technology. Let's talk about vehicles. In the 1990s here in Kenya, the only people who had vehicles were very, very, like the president and his cabinet
and some people who worked in the government,
right?
And if you're very lucky, doctors, people who had careers,
but very few people. Literally, for a car to come into a village,
you were considered as a VIP, a sign of wealth. Even right
now, when you go to the villages, because as you live in the city, if you go to the villages and you're driving, people look at you like, you're very, very rich,
and that might not be the case.
Right, and that is what I'm saying. If there was a point where a bigger percentage of the population didn't have this car, it's because they were just living simple lives, but now
right
a lot can buy.
Not only buy, but right now a lot more people are employed, meaning a lot of people are looking for convenient ways to move around. They're no longer using their legs or public transport because that is not convenient. And I feel like these companies that know that right now a car is becoming a necessity for everybody literally in the world. That is why they're trying to test the waters to see if people will just accept that situation.
Talk about revolutionary inventions.
I didn't think it would go this direction, but hey.
But like me personally, I do admire from a business point of view. That's a good and genius way to make money, because people need, at the end of the day, they do need these things. But from the other point of view, where you're looking at it not as a businessman but as a person who depends on these things, then it becomes inhuman. Companies need
it
to
can
be
also
regulated.
Backfire because remember, right now, unless they purposefully sabotage the other vehicles that are in circulation. Right now, people know that the ones that are being manufactured in 2025 and some of the ones that were manufactured in 2024 are the ones that have these subscriptions.
Especially
so people will try to navigate around it and not buy them.
And especially those vehicles owned by very ultra-rich people. You had, there's a certain... I don't want to talk about brands, but there's a certain brand that already had those subscriptions and rich people are fine with it, and that's the problem.
To be quite honest, guys, I don't know, again, as I said, I don't know if I'm the one who doesn't have money or there are people who are willing to pay, just not me.
Yeah.
But since there are people who are willing to pay and already have these cars, to be quite honest, I would like to sit in one and see how it feels.
Nah, bruh.
No, because they're selling it as if it is something very unique.
It's not,
I'd just like to see if it has the eternal air of life.
And it comes plated in gold. With 3 meals a day.
With 3 meals a day inside that car.
Guys, let us know what you think about this episode. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Let's catch you on the next episode. Also, remember to subscribe before you leave if you haven't yet, yeah?
Right.